Hey everybody, Cindy Skalicki here with your Monday Message Mentorship Minute. Today we want to talk about sticky storytelling and what exactly makes a story sticky. A sticky story is something that's going to stick in your memory better. So I was working with a group last week in a masterclass and we did a whole portion on what makes stories stick. And sticky words and phrases help make stories sticky and memorable. And the way that you want to think about adding stick to your story is by evaluating what kinds of additional, very specific information you can add. So if you're telling a case study about a client that has done really well with your program or your offering, or if you're telling a story about a different time in your career when you overcame something challenging, you might add specifics around that storyline. You might add things like place. You should have names of people. You want to include the time of day if that's relevant. What about things that you might have been wearing if relevant, or the year that it took place, right? So one of the examples that I frequently share and that maybe you've heard is a sticky story that starts like this. So when I was working in Chicago at BBDO, a big global ad agency, it was 1998 when this story took place. I was working on the 8th floor of the Wrigley Building on Michigan Avenue, and I had this huge project that I was tasked with doing, but I was completely procrastinating. I was afraid, I wasn't sure how to go about this project, and in the end, I was creating kind of a problem. Well, my boss, Anne, was going to have me come into her office, and we were going to have a little bit of a sit down. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was Tuesday afternoon, and I walked down the hall, and I sat down in her chair, and she closed the door shut. So that's kind of the beginning of my story, but you can see that in that way, you're brought to where I am. You are brought to Chicago. You're brought to the 9th floor of a building. You're brought into the office of a woman named Anne. You are told a lot of things that help you create a scene. And so we don't want to overdo that, but we don't want to have none of that. We want to have something in between that helps you create stories that stick for your audiences so that they remember them, because you want to be memorable. And stories help you be memorable. So that's my tip for you today. What is a story you can be working on right now, and how can you add stick to it? I'll see you in your session this week. Make it a great day.